Ubisoft has been getting roasted recently, and I gotta say, I have been getting comments of AC fans explaining why they hate the franchise now. I want to reminisce about why we love AC. To get a bigger picture, just think of this. You're just chilling around and you see this trailer on YouTube, you're just scrolling YouTube, and this trailer had aura before aura was a thing. Just look at it. Look at these images. Then see this parkour. It all just looks and feels amazingly smooth, amazingly like reactive. It feels like it just looks good. It looks amazing. It looks flashy. But to break it down in detail, why we love AC, let's use AC3 for example. This story starts off with the modern day, where Assassin's Creed actually takes place in and not in the past. Desmond is on a task where we need to save the world from a coronal mass ejection. That's just science jargon for the sun is going to laser beam us and scorch the earth. Desmond is on his way to enter a temple to find out what the Isu had in plan for him to save the world after theirs ended. They were on Earth before it got turned into charcoal, so civilization had to rebuild. But in the modern day, Desmond needs to unlock a section of the temple where the thing is that he has been told by the Isu can save the world. They're just cryptic in this weird ass way, but it's unknown what this MacGuffin is when playing in the story. To enter this special area, Desmond needs to get a key that can be found through his ancestry. He needs to go back in time to the American Revolution and follow the story of Connor Kenway. But the animus Desmond has glitches. It's not perfect, and that's how the Assassin's gears have been in the modern day. But he goes through the story, and instead of going to Connor Kenway, he goes to his father Haytham Kenway, as Haytham tries to make the Templars right, as he tries to take over the world. Because this scene just says Haytham's story better than I'll ever do.
What is it the Templars truly seek?
Order. Purpose. Direction. No more than that. It's your lot that means to confound with this nonsense talk of freedom. Time was. The assassins professed a far more sensible goal. That of peace.
Freedom is peace.
Oh no. It's an invitation to chaos. Only look at this little revolution your friends have started. I have stood before the Continental Congress and listened to them stamp and shout. All in the name of liberty. But it is just noise.
And this is why you favor Lee?
He understands the needs of this would-be nation far better than the jobberknolls who profess to represent it.
Connor in this scene hates his father because Charles Lee, the murderer of Connor's mother, lives lives and a lot of other villagers. The Templars destroyed his village, burned it to the ground. You can almost hear the screams in your head of the people in Connor's village. You can imagine it, but it's just gruesome. So Connor does everything and absolutely anything he can to get his revenge. But Connor knows blind rage won't work. It's already failed once. He needs to guarantee his revenge works, so he needs to know more about the art of being an assassin. Assassin's Creed had a groundbreaking story about the future and how lies can be told about history, how we should search for the truth. Assassin's Creed taught us that we need to strive for a better future. Assassin's Creed wanted freedom to not just be given to a select few, but for it to be a human necessity, that freedom was not bought for or fought for, that freedom was never taken, it just was. Everyone free to choose everything and anything they want to say. If people listen though, that's another story, but you're free to say, you're free to do what you want. That's what they want, the assassins. But in history, those who spoke quote-unquote the truth were either bribed or threatened into telling lies. The stuff and the feeling an assassin gave when parkouring through the city like a man-made structure that blocked the roads were just instead used as a jump pad onto the rooftops where they were just better. The hidden blade with how stealthy it was used People can just carry a blade in their back pocket, but no, it had to be underneath their hand because that shit had just way more power. And then the history side of it, with the settings, you go to this different place where, yes, we all have heard about the American Revolution, yes, we all have heard about the Italian Renaissance, but to actually see Venice in that time, a version of Venice in that time, a version of Boston when the Boston Massacre happened, a version of Paris in the Revolution. Notre Dame was perfectly rebuilt, better than historians even thought. That's allegedly said though, don't quote me on that, I think at least that I heard it somewhere, but the history side of Assassin's Creed is just why we play those games. That's what first takes us in, and it's an amazing time period where you get to experience a different part of the world, our world, made into the format of a game. Not every rooftop has ropes that just happen to go to another rooftop. No, that's probably either put in by the assassins or it's just game dev. And either way, I don't care. The combat of an assassin also, it's amazing. An assassin is supposed to be stealthy and agile, kinda like Nawe. An assassin is supposed to run around as fast as possible while not being seen and using everything in their surroundings to make sure that they're as hidden as possible, to make sure that they are perceived as a ghost. The combat, on the other hand, does this differently. The combat of an assassin, it changes around the series a bit, but Shadows had it so that the combat was separated from Nawe because they wanted more characters and they wanted to tell a different story, because that's just how they could show different perspectives and different ways of looking into the same time period. Yosuke's story is drastically different from Nawe, but they're in the same place at the same time. And that difference is also just amazing. It's not appreciated because people don't like Yosuke. Man, that's stupid, honestly. Assassin's Creed has a lot of revenge stories. The thing that always brings us back to the series was the modern day. The modern day is what connects everything in Assassin's Creed, and it tells us how the story is going in the modern day. You know, we play in the modern day, and the characters in the modern day play in the past, and we see them going to the past. We don't go to the past. You're skipping the part that makes everything gel together if you go straight into the past like AC Mirage did. But that's another can of worms. They did not have enough time. Ubisoft Bordeaux did not have enough time. But it still was amazing. It still did the parkour and the stealth amazingly. The level design, that's also something amazing. To bring everything back together, Assassin's Creed is not something beloved because it can do one thing right. It's beloved because all of these things bring together a feeling of being an assassin. You know the aura an assassin has. You know how it feels when you see Ezio in the trailer just schmoving around, or Connor in AC3, like parkouring through the snow and the trees. That's just a different vibe. And don't get me started on Unity. They cook with Unity. Assassin's Creed's trailers also really helped. That was amazing. That shit was amazing. Everything is brought together in this feeling of an experience that you're gonna get. The experience of an assassin and the experience of history. How history has shaped our world and will shape the future if not listened to, or if listened to right. If you don't listen to it right, then you'll repeat it. You repeat history. But if you learn from it, if you move with history to learn and to better yourself, that's what Assassin's Creed is about, I think, at least. A little bit, at least. But hey man, let me know why you love Assassin's Creed. I really want to know it. And if you've enjoyed this style, then tell me. Because it's kind of different to what I usually do. Usually I talk like really fast, but I am trying a different style and I hope you enjoy that. Thanks for watching.